evening, everyone. It is Sunday night, and welcome to the APAT show. Leigh, we're all going to Vegas. Whoop!
I wish we were all going to Vegas, but somebody is, but
Somebody's
it
going to
probably
go to Vegas, right?
it probably won't be us. But yeah, it's a Sunday night, guys. Welcome to the APAT show. We're going to be with you for the next, at least the next hour or so. We'll see what happens. Unfortunately, bad news. Sunday Splash didn't start tonight. Everyone was too busy enjoying the sunshine at 7 o'clock this evening. So no Sunday Splash on Grosvenor, which we've got no added value tickets we can give away. We unfortunately the Vegas thing sold out, so we were going to do something else, but we'll have to hold that off to do on different week. But what we are going to do is we're going to focus in on the poker on Grosvenor because we've got a Vegas final going on, so we've got a final table of that, and we have a special guest on the show as well. Good evening to the one and only Chris Bean. How are you, Chris?
Hello, I'm doing very well, thanks, gents, and congratulations on the sellout.
Oh, thank you very much, Chris. Thank you.
It's been superb. A bit of a sweat for a few weeks. You never quite know what's going to happen when you put these things up. But everybody's hey, who doesn't want to try and win a trip to Vegas for £1? Well, we found out that nearly 500 odd players did want to try and do that, and not just for £1. They bought a few more tickets than that. So good luck to everybody that is in the draw for tomorrow night. If you're tuning in thinking this is the draw, now you've got another 24 hours to go, I'm afraid. Sweat it out for another 24 hours, wishing it might be you. And we will find out this time. By this time tomorrow, we will know who the winner is. So Chris is playing a little bit of poker online on a Sunday night. I'm playing a little bit of poker online on a Sunday night, playing in a Irish Open satellite at the moment as well. But we've also got the Vegas package satellite up on Grosvenor. So this is the one which is £110 buy-in. You play the day ones, qualify onto the Sunday for the day two, and they're £4,000 packages up for grabs. I think they guaranteed 2, and they got 3 going tonight. So there were 16 of them that made it through to this Sunday final, and basically we're down to the final table of 8. So 3 of them are going to pick up a package to Vegas and head out and play I think it's the Millionaire Maker. Yeah, the Millionaire Maker 7 nights
Lovely.
Hotel in Paris. Which is unfortunate because the poker's happening in Vegas over in the States, but still, them's the breaks. And also return flights. And I think whatever part of the package value isn't used up with flights, depending on where you're going from, what you're doing, they throw you the balance in cash as well. So very much worth doing. Just as I'm talking about all of that, I've just bust the poker I was playing. So that means I can focus in on what we've got going on here for a little bit. Yeah. So this is what's going on. I don't recognise necessarily. Actually, I do recognise River Rat as one of the names, the short stack here on here, and trader number 1 as well. I qualified through Grosvenor a few years back for a Vegas package, and also qualified through to the Irish Open last year with them as well. So I do recognise a couple of the names. Wouldn't know who they necessarily are in real life, but they are certainly names that I do recognise. Trader number 1, definitely I recognise, and to say River Rat, I do as well. If anybody in the chat happens to know any of these 8 on the final table, do let us know. River Rat really is the short stack there, got 5 bigs. But as we know with these satellites, when we've watched these in previous years when they've been playing for a WSOP main event package, they will blind down to absolute minimal when it's getting close to the bubble. And was it 1 year, Des, somebody won a WSOP main event with like 0.1 of a blind or something like that? I think it was. River Rat's got it all in against Trader at number 8. The 2 players we'll talk about, 6s versus 8s, and River Rat's hit a 6 on the turn, and he's going to get a much needed double up. So the 2 short stacks now have got the 2 players I mentioned have both got sort of 12, 13 bigs. So plenty of play in this yet. But yeah, they were blind down to minimal. I think there is a prize. Let me just confirm. It's a very minimal prize for 4th place. So 3 packages up for grabs they've made. There's £100 for 4th, which is, I suppose it's a chance at another shot at it next week, but it's not really much compensation for all of your effort. Yeah, it is pretty much bus fare home, isn't it? Yeah, it does feel very much that way. Yeah.
In contrast with those main event sats last year, it does feel like the players here have literally a ton of chips to play with. I mean, with 3 packages on offer, you'd kind of wonder if you were sat there with 50 and 54 blinds. I mean, would you sit out? Could you sit out at this point to win?
No, you couldn't, because if you look what the other players have got, there's still too many chips in play, and there's still too many players involved there. You've still got to bust over half the field to lock up one of those packages. You're not going to do that with 50 bigs, because you will basically just blind away. There's no way could you sit there and just not play a hand from now to the end. Not possible. So you've got to make a decision whether you sit there and just, and do really close your range in. And only play absolute premium, or do you go, well, actually, I've got a stack here. Let's see if we can get rid of a couple of these short stacks who might be clinging on, waiting for hands. See, it's all about the vibe about how people are playing. But we will see how this plays out. So yes, so we will very much be watching this. But super exciting day for us. The Vegas package sold out this afternoon, I think it was. It might have been late morning. I completely lost track of time as I was watching it. It just was a crazy 24 hours, really. Once we got down to kind of sort of 20% to go, it got a little bit mad with people buying up tickets. So so super excited. But that's all done. 15,000 tickets all sold. Say somewhere between 400, 500 unique customers have got tickets, which is great, because it means we're going to, we're going to make one winner, but we're also going to make 400 plus our people very disappointed tomorrow night, which does play on my mind a little bit. That's going to be the case.
Well, we're going
to have a lot of very disappointed people tomorrow night. But hopefully they will be disappointed for themselves, but also super happy for whoever it is that does win the package and gets to go to Vegas in the summer.
Well, listen, let them think about tonight, because I mean, effectively they're sat there with tickets. Whereas I'm sure there are a bunch of players today, particularly tomorrow, as we approach the draw, who'll go, "What? It's gone. It's done. There are no more tickets left." So at least they're in the draw for 24 hours from now. It's closed. They have tickets. They're in. And as you said, Leigh, 400 and 50, 60 unique players somewhere in the
something like that. Yeah.
So, I mean, some will have bought, I mean, I know for sure there's some in there with a single ticket. Some have more than that. So, the odds aren't exactly even, but you're one of a relatively small number of players that is going to walk away. One of you is going to walk away with a hell of a package. Can't wait. It's going to be super exciting tomorrow night.
Yeah, no, it will be great. But obviously lots going on at the moment. I say on raffles. So if you missed out on the Vegas draw, that we've just put up a new draw for the UKPC Masters, which is happening at dusk till dawn next month. That's $1 million guaranteed. We've got a package up for that, so you can win your 1,100 entry plus 400 cash towards expenses. 400 will get you, what that'll get you? That'll get you two or three nights hotel or a couple of burgers at Five Guys. Entirely up to you what you want to do with it.
Burgers,
your choice with a 400 quid, but you've got that. We've also got a Malta poker festival package up, so you can win grand event seat plus £500 cash to get you out to Malta. We've also got a Party Poker Tour London seat, which is worth £500 plus $250 in cash as well. And of course, the usual APAT draws. 2 APAT draws tomorrow night. We shouldn't forget those. We managed to sell out 2 this week as well, with everything else going on. So low tab, because everybody's got so much that they're satelliting in for at the moment. As I say, I was just playing it's kind of last chance if you want an Irish Open package, because that starts next week. And one of the reasons, not that it's just nice to catch up with Chris, but Chris, you're heading out to the Irish Open next week, doing a little bit of work, I believe.
I am. I'll be blogging for the Irish Open website, so I'll be covering mainly the side events. Poker News will be covering the main event and the high rollers. They'll be getting amongst the mixed games hopefully, and get to see some good play.
Well, there's a load of mixed games early on. Which is, is an improvement on last year. I mean, the schedule is just absolutely nuts. I think I popped it up on the screen a couple of weeks ago on one of the streams we did. The schedule is absolutely phenomenal. Bunch of APATers are going out to play some of the mixed games. Simon Brook won basically a buy-in, a main event buy-in for everybody, using that to play a load of the mixed games. He's over the weekend, next weekend, and playing a bunch of those with Ian Witt. I think Tom's out there for the duration. He was umming and ahhing, but I think he's decided to go out for the lot. So some cracking eight game horse event, isn't there, early on in the festival? And again, reasonably sensible buy-ins for people. So loads to get involved with over there then. But obviously then you've got the main event's got a 2.5 million guarantee, which they reckon is going to get absolutely smashed again. I think the mini main has got $1 million guaranteed on it, and that's just a €250 buy-in. So say ridiculous schedule. Have you been out before, Chris? Have you worked it before?
This is my first time out there, and I'm really looking forward to it. With my brief correspondences with the Irish Open team, they're just so into it, and we're just so proud of the prestige of the Irish Open, because it's probably outside of the WSOP.
They are very recently award-winning, aren't they? Having picked up the GPI award for was it best standalone festival? I think
standalone festival.
Yeah.
Yeah, and apparently JP and the team drank the bad rice. So.
yeah. So, well, if you've not been out there before to experience, I mean, I went out for the first time last year and was blown away by the setup. There's a really cool video. If you go and check out the Irish Open Facebook page, they've got a kind of it takes 3 days for them to kit the room out. So they've got a video which lasts only about 2 or 3 minutes of pretty much that entire process. And yeah, it's just incredible. I've never seen so many LED screens and it's proper player friendly, and it's got even better because I think looking this year they've everybody's got to be registered up with the PokerStars app, and that's got some really, really cool features on it for satellite players and qualifiers that can basically just auto reg. So you don't even need to go to the registration desk. I think you can just auto reg via that. I think it just gives you your seat draw.
Yeah,
so you basically just put yourself in and a way to go. So I think it was one of the best things I said last year was that once it was never much of a queue to register for whatever you wanted to play. You were never more than sort of 20 people in a queue, something like that. And you straight away got your seat and a draw, and then you could just go to the table and basically you just get given chips, and then so the dealers would bust everybody as they needed to. Chips would always be added to the table for the dealer to be able to hand out stacks when they needed to, and it was just such a smooth process. And they've upped it again this year by basically if you've qualified, or I think there's a few different ways where you can just on the app just basically register yourself and get a seat draw, because they've already ID'd you and done all the necessary. So why do they need to? You don't actually even need to see anybody, which is just phenomenal.
Yeah, the WSOP's got a lot to learn from the PokerStars events, I think, because the registration lines out there at the moment is just absolutely stupid.
It's mad, isn't it?
All the paperwork, it's just stuck in the
and it's not like it's a new problem. Not like it's a new problem, Chris, right? This has been a super high-profile issue for many, many years. Even in the digital age, it's still a problem. Albeit we have speculated fairly recently, Leigh, and wondered whether GG, given their tech proficiency, will be able to bring some order to this, because it seems to be a really easy win, one would suggest.
Yeah, you would hope so. And I suppose it's whether you've got the ability to see what others are doing and learn from it, and then progress on. Of course, you've always got the thing in the poker industry that everybody wants to do it their way, and there's no if everyone's quite happy just to use one uniform method of whether it's buying in or registering, and everyone was comfortable just use it, but everybody wants their own app, and they obviously want to hang on to their own customers, and that's an issue. So we've always got the conflict within the poker industry, whereas if everybody kind of collaborated together and looked to grow poker as a whole, there's probably enough to go around for everybody. But yeah, the Irish Open certainly do plenty of things well. we'll see how they go on this year. But I've got a funny feeling they are going to absolutely smash it again, numbers wise. This year, it's going to be good. And if first time you've been, Chris, you say I know you're working it, so it's a slightly different angle that you'll be coming from with it, and it's long old days and everything else. But you can't be anything but say just in awe of the experience of what they put on there and how much enjoyment all the players get. And ultimately, poker's entertainment. Poker's supposed to be fun and enjoyable, and I think that's the vibe that you'll very much get. So hopefully, from your point of view, from working it, you get a little bit of that in return, hopefully.
Well, I've already been told Jen is coordinating us this year, and she's already said to encourage us to go to the crack tent and get any stories you can and use that as filler. So right up my street. That's.
Yeah, we'll see. Where's that Chris Bean? He's supposed to be reporting hands. He was last seen in the crack den.
Yeah, on the peep. He was on the peep
3 days ago. Yeah, it was 3 days ago. We haven't. Yeah, no one.
Yeah, I'm going to pretend I don't know how to split the G and just down a pint of Guinness each time. So
yeah.
Yeah, you won't look out of place doing that, Chris, over there, I have to say. You'll fit in right well.
Yeah, well, I've properly bocked the 2 players I mentioned in this Vegas package. Trade number 1 and River Rat are both busts, who were the 2 short stacks, to be honest. So we are down to 6 in this now. As I say, top 3 are going to get a package. So we're now 50% of the field are going to get a package. Those big stacks that you talked about, Des, they've all got between 45 and 50
leaked a little bit, haven't they? But not too badly.
Yeah, not too badly. So Moldad's the short stack now on 14 bigs, and then the other 2 have got about 20, 21 each. So, yeah, it'll be interesting to see how this plays. But clearly, Woodsy 1 is quite happy to get their 20-odd bigs in the middle and see how they see how it pans out for them.
Tell me about Woody's 1 position here, right? He's got the 2 big stacks on his left. Obviously, it's a satellite. He's stuck them all in there. I mean, does he have the worst seat in the table? Does he have the best seat in the table? Because he's getting them in first.
I think if you're in a normal tournament,
well, he's not. Probably, tell me about this.
Yeah. If it was in a normal tournament, you'd say probably not. But actually here, and on the basis that he's got half the stack of the 2 stacks to his right, they've not got. Yeah. They've not got absolute monster stacks. So he's getting to act first. So if he's brave and prepared to be a little bit more aggressive, it's very, very difficult for Newts and who is that, Joe Sakic to call off half their stack. They've got to absolutely have woken up with a monster hand to want to do it. They're not. Why would you do that and put yourself? At the moment, they're kind of sat there going, well, okay, well, if everyone else carries on busting each other and whatever, I as you said earlier on, I could just roll into a seat here. All of a sudden, you're putting half your stack at risk and dropping yourself back down into the chasing pack.
Very much in the mire,
yeah, absolutely. So yeah, it's all about how you choose to play this, and Woody's obviously just quite happy to take the chance and put the chips in against. Obviously, that was against the big blind of the shortest stat Moldad on this table. So I see. Yes, you've now got two. You've now got 2 shorter stacks here. So Hot as Mustard's now put themselves in a pretty good position because they've just won a nice little hand there. Sit up to 60 bigs. Can afford to call off the 2 short stacks, the 10, 11 bigs and 13 bigs without too much bother, really. You could take it. Yeah, you could take a punt on either of those if you want to. A little bit tougher for the 240, 40k stacks to want to 45k stacks to want to do that. But
Leigh, talking about a 40k stack, Steve 40k stack asks, can Chris get an interview with Andy Black for APAT if he bumps into him, please? Chris, could you do that for us, please? Even on your phone, just watch your ears.
I'll try. Andy is sometimes not the most approachable person that I can.
We've never. It's strange because we've never had an issue with him. I mean, whenever we've
been on the show, he's been really nice.
Whenever we wanted to get him on the APAT show, it's never been a bother for us. I mean, it's never been an issue.
I know a couple of my Poker News colleagues. I had a couple of run-ins with them, like in previous World Series. So but you just have to catch him on a good day, I think. But yeah, I would love to do that for you if I can grab hold of them. Like,
are they Chris? Are they putting you up somewhere reasonably close to the Royal Dublin Society, or are you on a bit of a travel each day?
I think I'm just across the road. I'm just at the Clayton Hotel at Bellbridge.
Oh, lovely. Oh no, you're in
bad,
a nice spot then. Actually, yeah, that's not too bad. That's 5 minute walk, pretty much 5-10 minute walk max. So you'll be fine.
Who's rooming with you, Chris, that you don't know about yet?
No, I do know who I'm rooming with.
You do?
It's Don Clementon I'm rooming with. I worked with him at the WSOP 2 years ago. And we actually shared the same bedroom there as well. So, I know what I'm in
little twin room. There's going to be 6-7 of you in that before the week's out, Chris. I'm telling you now.
They just
they move in cramped in of its own.
They just move in triple bunk beds. That's all they do. Yeah, they on a rota system. Yeah, that's how it works. We know poker news and these blogging outfits are like. Yeah, they keep costs to a minimum.
I don't know if you saw, but there was an article recently by someone called Sarah O'Connor. She was actually interviewing this year for Poker News, and it's lifted quite a bit of the lid, to be honest. Because she basically said what the remuneration package was, and it's caused a bit of a ruckus on Twitter. And
oh no!
Oh really? Oh wow!
Remuneration for who, Chris? For
the poker bloggers out in Vegas, because she was under the impression that they were only getting around about $200 per day, but nothing else. But she missed out that she was supposed to be getting I think it's $3,000 for travel and accommodation. But it's
is it, Chris? Is it kind of an unwritten rule that it doesn't get talked about these things, or is it quite fairly well known in the industry, the sort of money that bloggers and because obviously they have to get a lot of people out there each summer to do, and you work long shifts. I don't think people fully understand quite the hours that put in and the effort that gets put in just to produce that kind of content. But is it commonly known what's on offer for people or not?
Well, I think the biggest thing is that it is very long, hard days. I mean, you're talking at least 16, 17-hour days for if you're covering a day one of the big town, because it's a 12-hour playing day, and but before then you've got to do the introduction, and then you've got to travel into the venue, and then you've got to.
Yeah, it's not like they're putting you up on the strip in the hotel right next door or anything, is it?
Oh, no, you've got to find your own accommodation. So, a lot of people they stay at the Las Vegas University campus, because it's quite cheap. Or there was 6 of us at club together to stay in an Airbnb in 2023, and that was we were about 5 minutes away from. What's the card room again? We're about 15 minutes west of the strip.
Okay.
So I'm trying to think of this. The card room now. It's going to annoy me that I've forgotten it. It's the Orleans. The Orleans. That's where.
Oh, the Orleans. Okay. Yeah.
So we were about 3 or 4 blocks away from there. So thankfully it wasn't too bad. But I actually did my expenses for. That trip just recently, and I spent about $1,300 on Ubers alone. So it's
wow,
it's mad, Christ.
Yeah,
but what is the answer? I mean, could you, are they, does Vegas have those electric scooters? I'm not necessarily saying that they'd be a safe option, but has that sort of personal transport hit Vegas yet?
Yeah, well, back in the day, I think it was really cheap to hire cars, but when I looked into it, it was like £2,000 for the 7 weeks, and so it's
can't do that. Yeah,
it's it's a toss up, really, to try and work out what to do. I mean, I know they're building the Hyperloop stuff at the moment with the Tesla cars for the tunnels underneath. I know they've got from Las Vegas Convention Center now, and they're going to be extending that throughout the whole of the Las Vegas Valley. So hopefully that will bring prices down for things.
Wowzers! Chris, you're going to have to stand on the street, late night and hand out some of those advertising cards. That seems to be a very, very profitable activity in Vegas. That's the sense I get anyway.
Yeah, I've seen some of those girls on those street corners, and there's no way I'm messing with them. So.
Do you think when you get a chance?
When you get players moaning about playing 12-hour days, there isn't kind of an understanding. Well, what goes on, with other people working exactly, the hours that you have to do before and after as well, and. It's saying dealers do long shifts as well. Floor staff do long shifts. The valets do long shifts. Maybe there needs to be some sensible thing of actually poker sessions shouldn't last any longer than sort of 9 hours in a day. 8 or 9 hours should be a more reasonable time frame. And as much as deep stack poker is great and everybody wants to get value for money out of their poker playing, there needs to be a better understanding and realization that actually. There's only so many hours in the day, and you've got to balance it out.
Yeah.
Jason Kuhn's been campaigning recently that he wants to have a normal hours poker tournament, so have it as a 9 to 5. So you start at 9 in the morning, finish 5 afternoon, then you can go out for dinner. You can actually do
can't see that happening.
But there's a lot to be said for it, though, isn't there? That does make a lot of sense. Maybe 9 in the morning's a bit early. Maybe you could do 12 till 8 or something like that.
Yeah,
but certainly poker going on till into the early hours. I mean, at APAT we've tried to reduce that as much as we can with a lot of our kind of main event day ones. Sometimes it's obviously difficult because you're trying to put something in on a Friday evening, so you've got to get that's going to run later. But we have over the last number of years tried to look at our scheduling and just go, we don't want poker going on till 4 a.m. 5 days in a row or that. It doesn't benefit anybody whatsoever to still be playing, staying as the sun's coming up or anything daft like that.
Yeah, I had a couple of sessions in Vegas where the tournament finished at 4 a.m. and by the time I finished doing the write-up, the sun was rising. So I was having breakfast as my dinner essentially, and
that's bad.
And then I was scheduled to be starting at 11 a.m. the next day. Well, a couple of hours later. So thankfully I managed to have a sleep and then came in at 4 p.m. But it's especially if
I'll be honest. Dublin for Easter, Chris, is sounding a much more relaxed idea than Vegas for the summer. I think that's feeling a better way to do it.
Oh, absolutely, and I'll know so much more of the players as well. Like all the British and Irish players, and there'll be plenty coming from Europe as well. But I think it's quite a huge contingent coming over from America as well. They've
qualified more from I think Canada is now the biggest qualifying nation that brings people over to play. So it's such a diverse mix that rock up to Dublin for poker over Easter. It's just a crazy atmosphere, but the room is is huge. So they seem to be able to accommodate everybody that rocks up to play, and it's just growing and growing every year, which is fantastic.
Yeah, and the amount of satellites available as well, because it's not just PokerStars and Grosvenor and Paddy Power who are sending people. I think it's everyone on the iPoker network. So you got getting loads of people from Germany and from the Scandinavian countries as well. I think I heard JP on the podcast a few weeks ago saying 200 have already qualified, and that was 6 weeks ago or something like that. It's absolutely crazy. Sorry, I've got a very crazy hand here myself. I've got a pretty decent hand in PL08, and I think I've got to go for it.
I mean, tell Des all about it because he loves a good PL08 hand. Yeah.
How do you spell that? Is it an O or a 0? That's all I need to know.
Speaking of Irish Open on Grosvenor, there's still a satellite running tonight. Late reg for another 40 minutes if you want to get into that. It's a €50 buy-in, and basically they've got 3 main event seats up for grabs in that. It's actually made 4 already. Say still 63 runners sat in that. That's how I got in last year through that satellite, the €50 €50 one, and you can take an add-on as well. So I think it cost me €100 for my main event seat last year. Really nice satellite to get in through with Grosvenor. So that's on the Grosvenor Poker at the moment. If you fancy trying to do that and get yourself over to Dublin for the Easter holiday.
Spectacular. Leigh, I can see that our two big stacks are now down to 33 bigs each. So from a starting position of 54 and 50 down to 33. Haven't been watching the action here too much, but I'm guessing that neither of them have really been involved. It seems to be the King 10 of spades now that has become particularly short, albeit
but not massively different. So Hot as Mustard is obviously still up where they were before. But what is interesting is the other three stacks have all kind of stayed around that level.
Yeah.
So really, as the blinds have creeped up, it's Newt and Joe that have kind of seen their stacks dwindle in comparison to the to what the blinds are at the moment, and they're the ones that are going to have to do so. As Ace Jack versus Ace Queen gets it all in, and we're going to see a double up for Woody.
Timing for Woody,
much needed double up, and pretty much that now puts Woody up. You've now got four stacks that are all pretty much at 30 bigs. So
got a bit tricky all of a sudden.
It's going to be interesting to see how this plays out now. That's for sure. But as I said, as we always say with these, it's eventually the structure pinches, whether you like it or not. Yeah. It's inevitable. It has to happen.
So are you still playing, Leigh?
I am, yes.
You're playing. What are you playing at, my friend?
I'm playing. Well, I was playing because I'm about to. Oh boy, do I run phenomenally! Oh, horrible.
Sounded like he was there on the turn, Chris, but he.
It was looking grand. I was all in with Ace 10 versus Queens versus fours, and the flops come down 8, 10, 10.
Oh,
so I'm in a beautiful spot, and the river brings up a 4, which is pretty disgusting.
Ouch!
Really, that would have been a triple up and see me in a very good space. Actually, in this satellite, there is one Cardiff biker is playing in this. I can see him on the list, and Slowdoke is also in there as well. So Dara's in the main main one as well. So this is the Irish Open main event quali on Stars. So had 8 seats plus expenses guaranteed, and they've got to 24. It's just phenomenal. I dread to think how many they've qualified in total. I'm not sure whether you can see.
I think it's well over 1,000 now.
Is it?
Yeah, like the amount that I think PokerStars alone's about 600-700, I think, and then you got on top of that, and then Paddy Power and like all the other seeds that they're giving away. But I've noticed in the schedule that there's actually the Tom Brady Appreciation Tournament, day one at 1 o'clock, the Irish Open Deaf Championship.
Oh, nice! Yeah, yeah. I'm sure Tom will be there for that. Yeah.
We had a partnership with the Deaf Poker organization going back many years
ago.
Yeah,
they came and played. Yeah. Really nice guys. Yeah, really good team there. Do some amazing.
So it's
amazing, but it is. It's getting close because I'm just looking now. The whole buy-in schedule is already set up on Stars, so you can buy in direct via the lobby there as well. So that's all up and running. But I was just looking to see if it did have the numbers actually, but I don't think it has. It's just got tonight, which I'm guessing that is going to be tonight. It's probably going to be the last Oh, they might run one next weekend. Actually, you never know. They might run one next weekend as it's a kind of what was it? 10, 12 days or something all in. So they might do another one. You never know.
So, guys, explain this to me. One Mr. Nosy P has said, Des, have you a disco in the other room? An illegal rave, said Steve. I'm confused, guys. I'm really not hearing any.
I think it's the lights. It's the lights.
Is it the lights?
It's the lights. It's the lights over your shoulder through the glass.
The desk, everything shakes.
Yeah.
Maybe it's that. Yeah. Maybe it's that.
No, that's exactly what it is. It's the the lights coming through the glass. That
I thought the sound was acting up. Yes, the lights coming through the glass. Of course it is.
You're all good. That's
Tris, Triplin, evening all. Apologies, a little late on parade.
To be fair, Tris was probably watching the football this afternoon and fell asleep like I did. It was that riveting.
Didn't watch it.
It
was. How does a game like that finish scoreless?
Because
it seems unlikely going in.
No. Asa balked it. Asa sent me a message before the game and said, and basically said, it's just going to be, it'll be 0-0, won't it? Because it's just going to be appalling. And it played out exactly like that. It was absolutely two teams that have nothing to play for in the league. Kind of how it felt. So very disappointing. But in saying that though, right? Des, I've watched a bit of football the last week or so, last 10 days, because I watched some games midweek and then watched a few over this weekend. What is it just me, or has the Premier League got pretty boring? It's just not.
Well, it's never good.
There's a lot of the individual talent, the players that will do something and make it interesting, get you off your seat, and and go wow. Just nobody takes risks. And funnily enough, I've been thinking about this for a little while, and actually Gary Neville mentioned it in commentary this afternoon at the Manchester derby, and was saying a very similar thing. He said the individual flair just isn't there at the moment because teams are so rigid and so fearful of losing possession that it's just become very, very robotic. And as he said, at the end of the day, it's entertainment. 70-odd thousand people have paid good money on a Sunday afternoon to go and watch a game of football and want to be entertained. And if you're not getting that off your seat, wow. Look at that, and it's the same. It's the same with poker, isn't it? Whether it's football, whatever your pastime is, if you don't have the wow factor that you're paying good money to have it because it's entertainment, people will slowly but surely turn off it and go, well, I'll go and do something else instead because this is boring. But I watched the Merseyside derby last week, the Man United Forest game. I watched the Chelsea game on Thursday. All dire games of football. I mean, just boring as hell. United this afternoon was terribly boring. Even your game at 2:00, I didn't watch it, but I looked at the stats at half time. There's been 4 goals, and the XG in that entire game was about 0.6. I don't know where 4 goals came from in the first half, but it was.
They came from mistakes.
Exactly. So that's it. So it's not. You're not even watching. It's coming from people making mistakes. It's not even actually somebody doing something good. It's somebody just making a mistake and giving the ball away.
I think there was plenty of flair and excitement earlier on in the season, but I think late in the season now, 2 things have occurred. One, the league is kind of done. Relegation is kind of done. And the second thing is probably that, with so many games, I mean, I can certainly see it at Liverpool. I mean, they just, they become turgid. They become tired. They just, the creativity sort of dies away. But when I think back to pre-Christmas, I think there were lots of good games then. You look at the likes of Salah, right? He was burning up the Premier League, but the last 3, 4, 5 weeks, you can't get a turn out of him. Can't get anything out of him.
He's won the league. He's won the league, and he's not signing a new contract. So what does he care? He's not worried, is he?
But these are parts of the reasons why I think we're in April and it's kind of gone a little bit turgid. But having said all of that, you've got Villa and Arsenal in the quarterfinals of the Champions League. You've got English teams in the quarterfinals of the Conference and the Europa League. All strong favourites to do well win. It's like there's not necessarily a problem in the English game versus the European game, but it's just gone a little bit dry right now.
I think
King 10 spades is all just. We got three players. Well, not three players all in. King 10 spades is all in, and the other two have both called. I mean, so there's 22 bigs in the middle here. Moldad, top right, has only got 10 bigs behind. Hot as Mustard's got 17, who was the chip leader, but has lost a load.
Spot from Moldad.
Yeah, this is tricky now. What you doing here?
Because you have to beat 2 players, right?
Yeah, I get the feeling this is going to check down now. I can't believe you're probably just going to let the cards show and one of you takes the 22 bigs in the middle and you hope it's not King 10 spades and that busts another player and we're down to 5. But Moldad pops a really weird one big blind bet.
Let's do it.
It's
please re-raise to 2 big blinds, please.
It stinks of value, doesn't it? Like if I can get another 1 big blind out of them. Oh, it's pocket jacks. Okay, that's enough. So we do lose a player, and Moldad does pick up. And say, Hot as Mustard has gone to the short stack now. So we've got 2 players on about 30 bigs, 2 on about 23, 24, and then Hot as Mustard on 12. So with 2 more to go. Top 3 are all going to pick up a package. They're all going to join Team Grosvenor over in Vegas this summer to play the WSOP Millionaire Maker plus 7 nights hotel in the Paris hotel next to the Horseshoe. And I say it's next to the Horseshoe, so it's taken on a little bit more. So actually, you can now book a room at Paris and technically be in an old Horseshoe room. So the Jubilee Tower in the Horseshoe, which was the one at the front, if you remember what the old Bally's and the Horseshoe was like, which is next to the poker room in the permanent poker room in Horseshoe, that's now switched. So they've all been rebranded as Paris rooms.
I didn't know
so there's a new walkway to get to that so you can meet up with it in the middle of the casino floor in Paris. Yeah, so they've taken that entire tower and rebranded it as Paris. So the only rooms now in the Horseshoe are the kind of the L-shape building, which is at the back, which is where the ballroom is and all the WSOP stuff is, which are kind of overlooks the roads at the back, that kind of thing. So yeah, I don't know why they did that, but basically they just took an entire tower, rebranded it as Paris, and maybe
it's probably because they could put an extra $20 per night per room. So.
Yeah, I wonder whether it is just as simple as that. Is it just that Paris, you can get away with charging a little bit more per night? Horseshoe always has that feel of it's fairly cheap and cheerful, but I've stayed at Horseshoe for the last 2 or 3 trips. It's been brilliant. Perfect location, bang slap in the middle of everything. Great for the poker. It was great for the Formula One. It's really, couldn't fault it at all. But I don't really anything out of a hotel other than just a room, so I'm never really, never really bothered. I'm not really bothered about whether it's got a good pool or good nightclubs or anything like that. It's just a sensible room that's safe and secure and clean. That's all I'm really looking for. So
I've stayed in some horrendous places in the Strip. I've stayed at Circus. I've stayed at Excalibur. Excalibur was one of the worst experiences because I was only there for one night before the Airbnb was ready, and I just settled down to watch a TV, and all I could hear from next door was it sounded like a cattle whip, and I could just hear.
Some people pay extra for those rooms.
Like what the? But it was the adjoining room as well, so I was like putting towels underneath the door. So.
Wow.
He's
just boasting now, isn't he? He's just boasting. That's what I'm hearing. Listen, you might have had a cattle whip or a whip of some sort. Tris has been living it up tonight. He's been watching the snooker final. I think this is coming out of Manchester, isn't it? Selby against Higgins. I think it was 5-3 at the break. So it'd be interesting to know, Tris, how that one is going.
Well, so that's the build-up, because obviously we're heading towards
the World Championships.
The World Championships, which is but it's moved, isn't it? It's now on It's now on
What?
TNT, isn't it? Or
It's not on the
Discovery?
BBC?
No, it's snooker's all moved. So the
Has it?
snooker, it was on Eurosport, but the World Championships, they were advertising it the other day, and it's on TNT Sport or Discovery Plus
And they're not
whatever. So they've
distribution with the BBC.
I don't know what the BBC have got as well, but they were advertising it,
right? They've always shared it.
And they maybe that's what it is then. So maybe it is still on the BBC as well. It might well be. But I just happened to see happened to see an advert for it. So it was just because obviously people were kicking off because they closed. They shut down Eurosport. Don't know whether you knew that. So Eurosport used to be free, and it's no longer free. It's now part of the Discovery Plus package. So all the kind of the snooker fans and cycling fans were all kicking off because they used to be able to get a lot of those sports for free, just because it was on Eurosport with whatever package you had. So it was never free, obviously, but it was normally built into whatever you always had. Well, obviously, Eurosport as a channel is no longer. It's all built into TNT Sport and Discovery Plus. So.
Oh, wow. Okay, a lot happening there. Mr. 40 says Aston Villa beat Simon Lawler's Nottingham Forest. They did indeed. Villa, big week ahead for Villa. Great win over Forest. Kind of back in the running for maybe top 4. Still very possible. But they're playing PSG. I'm not sure whether it's Tuesday or Wednesday night this week, right?
I think it's Tuesday night because they played lunchtime, didn't they, on Saturday? So I think it's Tuesday night. Yeah,
if you're a Villa fan, that's about as good as it gets, right?
Rested like 8 players on Saturday, and still came out and absolutely scored 2 quick goals against Forest, and that was that. I mean, to be honest, Forest Forest didn't look anything like the team that beat United midweek the week before. Just say really different team. But Forest must be sat there thinking, okay, we're still going to be all right for Champions League. We're going to be in a good place. So good for them. I say hopefully, I hope they do it. Nice to see lots of different teams there. Be nice.
Oh, it'd be a throwback to see Forest in the Champions League. A throwback.
Yeah. But, are you in hand? What you got going on, Chris?
I know, I was just saying that, this week, if only one of the English teams win, that means there'll be a 5th spot for the Premier League this season. So.
Oh yeah. So it only takes one of them, doesn't it, or something, and then it's a done deal, which they've already said it's effectively they think it's going to be done. But wouldn't it be really funny if it was 5 teams and Man City still didn't make it? That would be a very weird situation. But
it could be a situation where. So there could be a situation where if one of the teams wins the Europa League, we could have 6 English teams in the Champions League next year.
That can't happen, can it?
Yes. No, it can. No,
it can. Sure.
It did. Yeah, it didn't used to be able to, but now it can.
Wow.
Yeah.
That would be amazing.
Yeah. There's the potential. There could be 9 English teams in Europe next year.
I think it's 10. I think
is it 10?
Wow.
If Chelsea
win the Conference
would
League.
have to would have to not be in one of the league places,
yes.
which is whereas Tottenham or United winning the Europa League and not being in the league position is more of a likely thing.
Yes.
Well, the second part of that is definitely going to happen. So
I saw the table yesterday, and Tottenham were 16th in the league and had a goal difference of positive 11. How does that happen?
Takes you back to the Aussie Ardiles days, I have to say.
It has been a very, very weird season. There's no other way to describe it. It's just been a very, very peculiar season, to say the least.
Football and weirdness. Tris says he's had a vision. I swear I can see Rashford score the winner versus PSG to take them through.
If it means they then got enough money to buy him, then great, because I can't see him coming back. So
happy days.
Yeah, go for it.
Tris also said 8-7 to Selby, best of 19. Steve says, have you watched This Is Our City? Is that lifelike? This Is Our City. I haven't seen that one. I don't know what that one's about.
So I have just finished watching it now. Only just come out, so it's all available on the iPlayer. It's so it's like so have you watched? So you've watched Kin?
Yes.
Which is set in Dublin. Yeah. Okay.
That.
So you've watched Gangs of London.
Yeah.
So okay. So you're on the 2 vibes here, right? So think of those, but set in Liverpool.
Oh, for fuck's sake! Excuse my
I was
excuse my
genuinely
language.
half expecting Scouse to turn up in any of the episodes, but he
This is our
didn't.
city.
But
So what a
yeah,
gangster,
really,
kind
it's
of
very, very,
gritty,
really good.
and it's good.
Just finished it now. Yeah, it's really good.
It's not
Really, really good.
just an entire sort of stereotypical type of gritty.
No,
Is it a modern day
so
Boys from the Black stuff?
it's sort of say again, it's kind of
Love the Boys from the Black stuff. Amazing.
it's kind
He's
of
a job.
criminal family, kind of managing the
Yeah.
drugs scene. Sean Bean is in it. Yeah, it's very good.
Okay.
Very, very good indeed.
Uncle Sean.
Yeah,
I will look out for that.
Yeah.
I do like that
Yeah.
type
Yeah.
of. I do like that.
yeah.
type
No.
of
It's
show.
all available on iPlayer now. 8 episodes. So it's keeps you going for a while, and I think it'll probably run for a second season. So I would imagine. So yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah, no, but very, 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 very good indeed.
Spinning back to football, Tris says no Manchester team in the top 4 would be a first since the Premier started. Wow.
Yeah, which would be quite crazy, wouldn't it? Really.
Yeah, but still, Oasis are back, right?
Yeah. So you can't grumble. Really. Yeah. Can't grumble.
You're so lucky
at
with
all.
your tickets, Leigh. Chris, do you know Lee's got Oasis tickets?
So have I.
Have you? Jesus Christ.
Where are you? Where are you
I
going
can't
to see
talk
them?
one
Where
of
are
you
going,
into
Chris?
selling me a ticket.
I'm going to the second show in Manchester, so it's on the Saturday.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Very nice.
I would like to
Excellent.
go see
Very
them, I have
nice
to
indeed.
say.
Yeah, the problem is Heaton Park's a terrible place for a concert. Like I went to see the Stone Roses there a few years ago, and like trying to get out of that place, you're just fighting to try and find a tram to take you anywhere. Like,
when does it all kick off?
It's end of most
July.
of the UK stuff is July. It's sort of mostly in July.
There's got to be one or two, snug little warm-up gigs, right? Because these guys haven't played together for millennia.
No, they'll just get on with it. They've both been touring their own stuff, haven't they, for a long time? So it's not really
getting the band back together,
No, they'll just rock on and do it. It's a money grab anyway. Let's not kid ourselves. It's anything. They don't really care what the level of entertainment is. People bought the tickets in seconds, and they've taken their money and thank you very much.
But
it's going to be the way.
I've seen Oasis twice. The first time around, I went to the City of Manchester Stadium, and I was just a daft 18-year-old kid and just got on the drink too early, and there was
doesn't remember it. He doesn't remember the gig.
Well, at about 8 o'clock when they were due to come on, there was a massive surge in the crowd, and it broke the barrier, and they weren't allowed to come on until the barrier's fixed. So I just went for a sit down. I ended up nodding off, and I didn't wake up until the encore.
Brilliant. Good work.
Yeah,
first time there was ever a crowd at the Effie had as well. Amazing.
And the second time, I was at V Festival, and me and my wife watched the first 2 or 3 songs, and I remember saying to her, "Oh, we can see Oasis anytime. Why don't we go and see MGMT and attend?" That was the last concert we ever did.
Right, Chris, I'll buy you tickets now for 300 quid. Come on.
Yeah.
Just take the money, Chris. Take the money. I'm looking out for you here.
Yeah.
We're down to 4 players, and weirdly, there's been a massive turnaround here. And Moldad is now the chip leader with 50 bigs, and we've now got 3 players, the same 3 players on the left-hand side that were reasonably stacked. Woody's, Newt, and Joe that have all got about between 22 and 25 bigs. One of these 4 is going to miss out on a trip to Vegas.
I kid you not. I haven't seen Joe or Newt's play a hand. I mean, I'm sure they have done, but that's what a turnaround. Well, that kind of answered the question of about an hour ago, right? 3/4 of an hour ago.
Yeah, but it'll be interesting to see. But yeah, I'm surprised you haven't managed to snaffle up some Oasis tickets somewhere, Des, with your connections.
I tried, Leigh.
Surely,
I have absolutely no connections in
are they really
in the music industry.
Are they people really paying silly money for them? Really? I mean, I'm not that desperate to see them. I mean, to be honest, I've seen them twice before. I mean, I just thought I'd go for it.
Leigh, I have to say, in this day and age, I wouldn't consider 300 quid for a ticket to go and see Oasis as being silly money. Honestly, I mean, the price of music tickets generally now, with dynamic pricing and stuff like that, is insane. It's gone absolutely nuts, in my humble opinion. I have tickets for Springsteen at Anfield on both the Wednesday and the Saturday night that he's there in June. I think it is. Could be late.
How many
May.
nights is he doing? They're just two nights he's doing. He's having a break.
I think he's doing two or three in Manchester.
Does he have a few nights off in between gigs these days?
He's certainly having like 2 or 3 nights off. But yeah. So he's got 2 or 3 in Manchester, and I think he's doing a bunch of European ones prior, and then a bunch of European ones afterwards. But the dynamic pricing, there's been a ton of controversy over it, particularly in the States, where people are just being asked to spend like $500, $600, $700, $800 for a pretty standard ticket, which is nonsense, of course. And people are ending up.
I don't think anybody's. It's worth to see live. Yeah, I can't think of anybody that I would say, oh, well, I'll go and pay that to go and see. I know. We all in life, you want to have your experiences and have a chance to see things, and but none of it actually really matters that much. Really, if you miss out, it's not life ending. It's not anything like that. It doesn't make a huge difference. I think those prices are just ridiculous, and I do think whilst people pay them, they'll get away with charging them, but at some point there's going to be a realization. You just robbery. Go, well, okay,
it's robbery.
And I'll be honest. I thought that about the Oasis thing. It's more the fact that actually there's a few of us going. And I thought it'd be a nice thing to go and do, but ultimately the price I managed to get on, and all I could get was a package thing which included a coach from Bristol, but the actual price of that package wasn't remote. I think it was about £200 or something like that, which I didn't think was actually ridiculous. I agree. To be honest, if it had been £300, £400 or something like that for the ticket, I probably just would have gone, nah, do you know what? I'm not that desperate. I say I've seen them twice. Saw them at the Millennium Stadium for my 30th birthday in December back in 2005, and saw them at the Rose Bowl in Southampton when Knowles had to stop the gig to ask the Pompey and Saints fans to stop fighting with each other because they were here to see them, which was beautiful. And so again, with some of these things, you just tick it off and go, all right, well, I've seen them, and if I don't get to see them again, it's not the end of the world. I'm not going to pay absolutely obscene prices. But you get that with the football. I mean, it's interesting with because I know it's what's happened at Anfield, and it's going to happen at Old Trafford as well with when the stadium gets redone. But I'd heard somebody talking about it about the extensions at Anfield. They've not increased the season tickets. What they're doing is they're reducing season tickets because they're all discounted tickets, and they don't really want to give out discounted tickets. And they're doing it at Old Trafford more and more as well. Is they want the people that are just going to rock up for maybe 2 or 3 matches a season that they can have on general admission, because they're the people that will go to the game, pay a higher price for their ticket, spend more whilst they're there, because it's a bit of a one-off thing, and that's why you're seeing changes in atmospheres in stadiums and things like that. The sports teams have realised that season ticket holders don't make them as much money as if they've released tickets. So a Liverpool fan was talking about it the other week, saying when they've extended Anfield last 2 times, they've not increased. So there's still such a waiting list for season tickets. They've not increased the number of season tickets that are available because they're all just going on general sale and then resale back via GoGo or whoever it might be, where they're basically getting double whammy on the admin fee for purchasing a ticket. So you're paying fees for a ticket in the first place, and then if you've got a resell, it's going back to the club, who can then charge effectively a face value plus an admin fee or a higher face value because of the demand on it. It's a nuts situation.
But I think while I buy all of that, the couple of things I would say is, there isn't a problem with the atmosphere at Anfield. Anfield is kind of pretty much the same as it's always been. If there's a big game and it needs to rock, it'll rock, no question, no fall off there. But I think for clubs like Liverpool and United, maybe 2 or 3 others in particular in the Premier League, because they have such big international fan bases anyway, it's kind of you have to allow those people to experience.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It, you know,
but the point is, but it is also financially so much better,
it adds
because
up. It makes sense, but I don't think that's the sole reason. Because Liverpool haven't put their prices up this year, for example. They've frozen their prices.
But they have and they haven't, because it's clubs supposedly have frozen their prices for I mean, United froze their prices for a decade, but they didn't. They froze them for season ticket holders and this and that. But everybody else, the ticket prices went up, because the reality of it is, to say, that's where they make their money. If they can get somebody that just rocks up for one game, very well they're going to the mega store. They're going to be there 3 hours. They're going to be there 3 hours before the game. They're going to be there after the game. They're going to maybe have a hotel the night before, and they're going to go and do the museum tour. They're going to go and do that's what they're doing. And if they can churn those people through that will go maybe a couple of times a year and have that experience every single time, they're going to spend more than a season ticket holder that rocks up to all 19 home games and will pretty much get there for 3 o'clock, not spend anything in the stadium, and leave afterwards and done. Now you need those people in there, because they're the lifeblood of the club, and they make the atmosphere. But the reality of it is, from a financial point of view, and it is completely financially related. I mean, say nothing, and there's nothing wrong with it, but it's just the reality of what's where sport is going, sadly.
There's a lot of money in sport. Now, talking about a sporting tourist of the highest caliber, Stefan is out there. Hi all, see you in knots. He's celebrating because he was part of the team. I was going to say,
do you know the news?
Yeah,
you know the news, do you? Yeah.
He's going to be representing Team Germany in the WSOP.
For anyone that doesn't know, so Sandro and the team over in Ash run a German qualifier for the German team for the WSOP, and basically they run four player teams. Anyone's allowed to enter, as long as you're German, and they run over the weekend. So you play first round is a sit and go, second round is a sit and go, and then they play an MTT third round. So they've been running it over this weekend, and they score it very similarly to the way we do it. I put the spreadsheet together for them this week and sent that over to them. And had to debug it twice over the weekend because I'd not checked something. So hey ho, that's all part of the service. Sandro, you're very welcome. And so I actually got the message back going, maybe this could be checked properly before the actual German team championships later in the year. I was like, okay, great, yeah, fine. So yeah, and Stefan, who has not had the opportunity to represent Germany before. Amazing. And has pretty much been to pretty much every Worlds I think we've ever done. Just an absolute loyal supporter of APAT and everything we've done. Just watching Ace Jack versus Ace Jack there, and they chop it up. And and he's going to get to represent Germany. So huge congratulations, Stefan, and cannot wait to see you put on the German shirt in Nottingham in August. Be superb. Very, very long overdue international cap for Stefan. Absolutely long overdue.
It'll matter. In other news, Leigh Wiltshire 50 this year. I just don't believe it.
I don't believe it either.
Is that you, or is that Triplin? That's you?
I don't believe it. Wow. No, it can't possibly be.
Looks good for it, Leigh. You look good for it.
With these youthful looks, you can't possibly believe that I would be 50 this year.
I have a big one this year as well myself.
What are you breasting, Chris? 40?
I'll be the big 4, yeah.
These 40, things come around quicker than you expect, isn't it?
Yeah, I've breasted the 50 sort of end line as well. I have to say, I thought 40s were great. 50s, you just begin to discover pains that you they were part of legend, but they were other people's legend. They were fine, but when you start experiencing them yourself, you go, where's that pain coming from?
It's when you're putting off. You go, oh, people are saying, are you going to Vegas this year? And I'm like, I don't think I will. If I hold it off to next year, I could play the seniors.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah,
That is
yeah,
serious. That is serious.
yeah.
Meanwhile, back to the sort of the cash discussion. Steve says I spent around €850 for 2 tickets, shirts, hats, food, and drink for one game. Mind you, it was the last game before they redeveloped the ground, and he's talking about Barcelona.
Yeah,
Barcelona is a big experience, right? So you're going to Europe, you're going to see Barcelona. It's not going to help if it's the last game before they, redevelop the ground and stuff.
They charge absolute, they charge absolute fortunes. Paul was out in, oh no, I can't remember whether it's Barcelona or Madrid with the boys last year. It might be Madrid actually, and was like, oh well, Madrid are at home whilst they're out there for the weekend. Well, okay, it's a bit short notice, but hey, let's see if we can get some tickets. And the prices he was being quoted to get a couple of tickets for a Real Madrid game were obscene, absolutely obscene. But again, it's tourist fans,
it's big
so
experiences.
it is an experience, isn't it? That's what they're looking to do.
But this was kind of my point on tourist fans. The understanding, because sometimes a tourist fan can get a really raw deal in terms of being understood. I mean, sometimes they can be super passionate fans. They're having the experience of their life. They're willing to pay a little bit extra for a ticket, the experience course. Whereas I think sometimes there's an assumption that all tourist fans won't go in, won't sing, won't contribute to the atmosphere. They will contribute to the mega store and the the bottom line, but they don't bring anything else. I don't think that's always the case.
No, it's a balance, and sometimes you can get some good deals. Now, APAT were out in Lloret de Mar back in the day for an event in Spain, and a bunch of the guys there had bussed the poker on the Saturday night. Well, it's not too far from Barcelona. Just said, well, we're going to get a cab to Barcelona and go and watch the football. And yeah, they managed to get tickets last minute. I don't think they paid anything more than like €50 for the tickets, something like that. And they piled in and watched whoever Barcelona were playing that night. So yeah, there are circumstances where you can get decent deals, and it's all on the games and what's going on, isn't it? Still full-handed here, and Moldad is just added to their stack up to 50 bigs. I mean, literally is locked up for a package here. Now, this is the one here. What Moldad really wants here is just two of the other three just to get this over with. Moldad doesn't really want to even be getting involved in hands. But whilst you can chip away, if you got the vibe that the other three are a bit nervous, then you can just basically keep chipping away to it until you're prepared to actually try and just bust one of them and get your seat locked up. But yeah, if Moldad doesn't win the package here and finishes fourth, it will be an absolute shock from this position. That's for sure.
Guys, we are going to call it a night when we lose our next finisher here. The three remaining players will have taken the WSOP package.
As they're still going at 2 a.m.
That can absolutely happen.
Yeah.
Is there anything that we want to pick up on, Leigh, ahead of that? Because that while it could be 2 a.m. in the morning, it could also be in the next hand, right? It could happen quickly. Is there anything we haven't covered off?
No, I think we're covered. I mean, obviously, huge. We'll say it to the APAT community. We'll talk about it tomorrow night. But genuinely, to everyone in the APAT community that supported Poker Raffle since we started it, but even more so in the last few months when we put on our biggest ever draw and pretty much put our heads on the block and said, all right, we'll guarantee this package. So please buy some tickets. Huge thank you to everyone that did it, and good luck to everyone that is in the draw tomorrow night for some tickets. I believe Mr. Bean might have a few tickets.
Sweet.
To his name.
Yeah, I managed to get a tenner's worth at lunchtime today, so
I got in.
Got to be in it to win it.
Brilliant. Amazing.
So lots of people say, genuinely, we hope the winner is somebody. My personal view, obviously, every ticket stands as much chance as the other. I genuinely hope it's somebody that wouldn't maybe get to experience the WSOP main event without something like this, because that would be a really nice story for it to be somebody that Yeah, which I guess is probably the vast majority of people that have got tickets. I would imagine. Somebody messaged me today and said, "Oh, I hope it's just not like a pro or someone like that could afford to buy in anyway." So, well, I don't think too many of those have got tickets. So, so I would hope it is very much that. We're going to be in Newcastle in a few weeks' time. Actually, that's coming round quicker than I like to think. Friday the 25th of April to Sunday the 27th for APAT Newcastle at the Grosvenor Casino. The UKPL 888 event is up there at the moment. This weekend, I saw Sinead Davenport on the final table of the main. We were talking about Matt last week on the show. So good luck to Sinead in that one. But yeah, we will be in Newcastle in what's that, 3 weeks time. Now, Tom will be up there looking after everybody. If you want to get involved in that, well, we've got raffle draws on Poker Raffles for APAT draws. 2 draws tomorrow night are already fully sold out, but there's another one up for next week. So if you want to win your £140 seat for £1, give that a whirl. We draw those every week, at least one every week. I've got a feeling it might ramp up and we'll get a few more in on a regular basis. But if you want to get involved in that, but yeah, we've got a few events happening now in the next couple of weeks. So Newcastle at the end of this month, then end of May we're in Coventry for a 5-day festival, which will be really, really good. Good fun. Details for that are all out, and then and we're doing Liverpool, aren't we? In June, I think it is. Is it July? July. Yeah, in July. So, and obviously fitting in there a trip to Malta in between as well as part of the NPF Spring Edition. Newts is all in here and is going to get that one through. Very difficult, these guys that are shoving, because I suppose there's always the possibility that Moldad is going to call off. Lightish. It's a quarter of Moldad. So any of these stacks is pretty much a quarter of Moldad's stack. So, I mean, what sort of range, Chris, do you think Moldad's going to go? All right, for a quarter of my stack just to try and end this, I'm going to call off. Is it? It's not any ace, is it? Is it? Well, I mean, if it was something like a King Queen suited or King Jack suited, are they going to maybe say, I'll give this a stab? I mean, certainly any pocket pair they probably are, aren't they?
I think King Queen's probably too loose. I would say probably like Ace 10 suited upwards, maybe. Maybe Ace 5 suited as well. Like you just need a bit more connectivity, I think. But if I was in multi-suiters now, I'd be just raising every single hand, just like screw the pressure on the free shot stacks.
On the basis that you kind of think, well, I'm probably going to hoover up more chips and I'm going to lose by doing that. And at the very least, I'm going to be I'm going to be at showdown with somebody that I could bust, and that's it done. So yeah, why wouldn't you just do it? So.
Because he's just limped, and it's just given like Woody the opportunity to shove. Like if he raised, then would he be in 2 minds to shove? Then he needs a short stack now. He's only going to have like a limited range to like shove with here. So
you've got 2 stacks that have got 10 bigs here, and it's now Joe Sakic shoving. You can't see the other 2. They've got to wake up with an absolute monster to want to call here, haven't they? They're just not going to do it, are they? Moldad is the key to this, to get this over with, I think. Has your poker ended for the night, Chris, or are you still?
I had a funny spot. I had like Ace King 7-3 double suited, and again there was a PKO, so and there was like 4 people all in, and it was either call or fold. So I just went through it, and I think it was a head nod on the turn, but the river got the flush and reduced my low to the 4th best low. So unfortunately, that left me with fumes. And
oh dear.
I think I finished 5 spots short of winning the Sunday Million seat. So
that's a shame.
The pain.
That is a shame. Still a little bit of late registration on this Irish Open seat satellite on Grosvenor. It's still showing as late reg. There can't be very long left on it. Currently they're on a break, so they must be literally on the buy-in add-on break now by the looks of it. Yeah, they're just, it looks like they're just let's have a look at it. Level, yeah, they're at level 12, so it's pretty much end of late reg. They're just doing the rebuy period and add-on period now, so they'll be restarting in a minute. It's currently, so they guaranteed 3 seats in this. It's currently got 10 seats. Anyone that thought the Irish Open wasn't going to be busy this year, it's just ridiculous. So many ways of actually satelliting in.
If you haven't already got your hotel, you might have to go to Belfast, I think.
Yeah, I think that's true. If you've not got accommodation sorted, I think you might be in a whole heap of trouble. So that's just closed off now. So there's 82 runners left in that out of the 137, and the 1st to 10th are going to pick up a main event seat, and the 11th is going to pick up €557. So to be honest, it's not a bad bubble prize on that. But good luck to everybody that's in that. Funnily enough, Woody's 1-1, who is in this Vegas final, is 3rd in chips in the Irish Open satellite as well. Let me see if there's anybody else I recognise in there. Not really.
I'm just wondering if that might be Chris Wood.
Well, Woody's found a bit of a race here. 3 bigs. He's left himself with 5 behind.
Kind of. Whether Moldad can find it is going to want to, and has called it off. Oh, no, it was a little value bet there with the 2 pair for Woody.
Bet. Wow, nice bet. Tris is saying, right, he's offering advice here, although he is saying it's easy for me to say, but we, meaning Moldad, have position on Joe. We cover the other 2 with ease, so we should shove every button if it's folded to us. Yeah.
I concur.
And as we always say when we're talking about this with satellite strategy and how to play it, it's great when you're watching it and you're not seeing the cards. Yeah. A lot harder to do when you're getting dealt absolute shit, and you're not wanting to put your tournament life at risk with absolute rubbish. It's really difficult to do that. But sometimes in these positions here, you kind of want to just cover your cards up.
But
do you know what I mean, Chris? You don't even want to look and see what. Doesn't really matter what your cards are. Play the position and play the players.
Absolutely.
And then if it happens to be your chips are in the middle, all right, see what you got and work it out from there. Yeah.
Because the deeper it is, it was more in Moldad's favour, but now it's starting to get shallower. Like his lead is getting more and more diminished.
This is not helping Moldad, isn't it? And Moldad's done exactly the same thing again on the small blind that you said about last orbit.
Yeah.
Just limped in and has called it off this time. Ace Jack versus Ace King. Woody's got the Ace King and is going to get the double up through Moldad, and Woody is going to take the chip lead here, and Moldad is now second in chips and only got not even twice the stacks of the other 2 short stacks, really back in the mix.
Now, Woody's taking the aggressive route now. I think he's going to shove pretty much every single hand now.
Real tough spot that for Moldad with the Ace Jack, because you're kind of thinking, okay, I've just limped in. He's reshoved it, so he's got what he wants. It's just you're not expecting Woody to have woken up with anything as strong as that. You think it's Woody just playing it. So to be fair, Moldad's probably done exactly the right thing, because it's induced the shove that he's going to call. But as you said, Chris, why not? Woody would have called anyway if he's shoved. He's calling with Ace King, isn't he? There, he's not calling. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
wow.
I know, when you're on the bubble, like if you're in second, third here, like you need to be as passive as you can. But if you're well first, you need to like have the aggression because you can drive the action and just like limping is just a terrible strategy at all. Like in this, like and he's limped again. Like he hasn't learned his lesson. Like. But he has, like, say, pocket freeze here. It's like it could be curtains. Or...
I mean, quite why you want to see flops in a position like this when you hit them so rarely, and your chips are so valuable, is kind of beyond me.
Yeah, and like for me, like I have no hesitation just folding the small blind, like because like saving the half blinds, like every like 3 or 4 times that you do it, like it adds up by the end of the play. And
of course, in this situation, Joe and Newts are kind of going to the other two. You crack on,
carry on.
I mean, play a pot. To be honest, start building the pot. They want to see that happen. I mean, you've limped in there with 5-3 suited.
Well, Triss is predicting a Mole's Dad bubble. And I guess that is because Mole's Dad is continuing to play. Little bit loose now. And Woody is seemingly calm. And
it's difficult, though, because obviously you've also got to... This is as much about managing and controlling emotions as it is anything else in these positions. So Mole's Dad was in a comfortable position, obviously lost half their stack. You've just got to kind of... mentally reset and just go, okay, let's now evaluate the situation we're in and try not to make any silly mistakes. But for some people, it's say the tilt element kicks in and it's really tough to be able to do that. But it's as much about controlling how you're emotionally feeling. The difference between
here we go.
Fourth and third, it's going to be all which one of these is going to be, if it's not over, one of these is going to be devastated. And Joe Sakic is down to 3 bigs, say, whichever, with the 2 short stacks going in, it was either going to bust one or leave one very short stacked. Well, it's done the latter of that. But say the jump here is from £100 for fourth to a $4,000 package, and you're off to Vegas this summer for a week. I mean, it's huge, isn't it? Really, what they're playing here on the bubble. But it is Joe that is got 2.1 bigs, which means the chips are going to have to go in soon. And here it is, this hand.
The other two players just call and take it down.
Surely Mole's Dad has got to just call that just to play it down. Surely you do.
You want to just be in there with 2 big blinds, every player.
Well,
every hand.
It's a 7-5 at risk, and the 7-5's hit. There's the 9 though, and it's done.
Wow.
And it is done. Congratulations to those 3 players. Woody's won 1, Newt's 1985, and Moldad. All 3 of you are joining Team Grosvenor over in Vegas this summer. If you haven't been over with them before, trust me, you will have an incredible time. 7 nights in the Paris hotel. Flights over, playing the WSOP Millionaire Maker, but then all the stuff on the side as well. They they do loads of entertainment and proper looking after you. I think they'll probably do a last longer for everyone that's playing in the Millionaire Maker as well, and all that. So the absolute works over there. You'll get properly looked after. I hope you all have an incredible time, and they've got plenty more of these running for the next month or so. On a Sunday night. If you want to get involved in the Vegas package on Grosvenor, it's £110 buy-in. You play day ones during the week. I think they do run one on a Sunday as well. Qualifies you into the day 2. So you take your stack through with you, and then they guarantee 2 packages. They got 3 tonight for that one. And give it a go. But you can satellite in for cheaper as well. So follow the satellite strings. You can get in from £1 into a 5 into a 30, or 5 into a 110s. Loads of different ways to do it. So congratulations to those guys tonight, though.
Absolutely
awesome for them. Hey, and talking about people that are going to be getting to go to Vegas tomorrow night, we are doing the poker raffle draw. So that is as Steve 40 just asks in the chat, any important draws tomorrow on poker raffles? Yes, there are, Steve. There are 2 APAT draws tomorrow that we've got to do. So tune in to find out who's winning those, and then we've got some throwaway thing that we'll do after that, just for for a winner. I haven't even checked whether the random number generator goes up to 15,000 yet. We'll have to check whether that's okay.
Doesn't go beyond 5 numbers. I love it.
Minor details. It'll be all right. It will be fine.
Good problem to have.
We'll call it a wrap for the night then. I think then on that with some winners heading to Vegas, and we'll do some more tomorrow night.
Fantastic. Well, thank you, Leigh. Thank you, Chris. Have a smashing time in Dublin next week, working at the Irish Open. If any of you guys are over there and playing or not playing or whatever, say hello to Chris. He will be working the long hours, but have a good time, I'm sure.
Take him a Guinness, and if you can't find him, he's in the crack den. That's all you'll need to know.
Just bring some flint, as they say. Yeah. So that's it from us tonight. As Leigh said, we hope to see quite a lot of you. I think quite a lot of the UK poker community, maybe tomorrow night when we draw from 15,000 tickets to find a winner to go and play the main event in Vegas. You can bring a pal, right? You bring a pal. Amazing stuff. Outside of that, Leigh and I will be back next weekend, Sunday night, when I'm sure we're going to have a couple of stories to tell to do the APAT show once again. So we'll leave it until then, folks. Have a great week. And we'll see you all soon. Cheers. Good.